Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the economics chapter first for the class 10, that is development. Students, in our last part I told you about the meaning of the development and the other components of the development, different people, different goals. In this part I am going to tell you about the income and the other goals. As you all know, the income is very important for the development, but as well as the other goals are also the important for the development. So you can see here a flow chart by which you can understand very easily that income and the other goals divided in two parts: materialistic goals and non-materialistic goals. Materialistic goals means all those things that we need in our life, and those all the materialistic things that are the necessity of our life, that is the income, wealth, property. And non-materialistic goals means those all values that we need in our life for the better life, uh, like freedom, equal treatment, security, and respect. Means everybody in his life wants freedom, everybody wants security, everybody wants respect, and everybody wants equal treatment, especially the women and girl child want equal treatment. So however, it is not the only component they want. Besides seeking more income, people also seek equal treatment, freedom, education, security, respect for their job, peace, a pollution free environment, and so on. Means all these things are also we need for the better life. Means pollution free environment and peace also. These other components are as important as the income and or the consumption. Means all these are also as well as important as the income and the money, because material goods are not all that we need to live. It is quality of life that matters most. Hence, for development, people look at a mix of the goals, and developmental goals include both economic development and better quality of life. Means we need both things: economic development plus better quality of life. Means materialistic goals and non-materialistic goals, both we need for the development of our life. Means development of an individual, development of a society, development of a country. Okay, now come to the next point, that is the national development. The individuals seek different goals, and their motive of the national development is also likely to be different. Means every people wants different goals for his personal development and for the country's development. While planning for the national development, it should be kept in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions for a country's development. I told you in our last part that everybody uh, in our society, every person has the different views, different opinions, different theories of the development, and it may be conflicting sometimes. So you can see by the example of a farmer wants India to develop a particular way, a trader wants another way, a teacher yet another way. Means everybody wants development of a country in their views differently. Means everybody wants another way of the development. Under national development, priority is given to those goals, but in the national development, priority given to those goals which are beneficial for a large number of people. Means that are the important for, that are the beneficial for the large number of the people, that is the development of a country. Next topic is the comparison of the countries or state. All the countries in the world or state in a country are not similar. We all know that thing. Means in our country also, not each and every state is similar in income, similar in the population, similar in the literacy rate or the development. Okay, so all the countries in the world or state in or in as in our country also not similar on the basis of development. Basis of development, we can categorize the countries or the state: developed, underdeveloped, and developing. Okay. And developed, underdeveloped, and developing also categorized by the World Bank report or the UNDP. We will further discuss it. Economic development on the basis of the national income, that is the per capita income. And national income, what is the national income? Total income over a time of period, means total income of a country. Per capita income means total income of a country divided by the total population of that country. It is also called the average income. Okay. Now World Bank report on per capita income. World Bank publishes World Development Report. Countries with PCI of US dollar 12,616 or more are termed as the rich countries, and countries with PCI means per capita income of US dollar 1035 or less are termed as the low income countries. Income and the other criteria. How can we know the development of a country? So we have to know all these points: per capita income, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, enrollment ratio, or the net attendance ratio. And PDS also, public facilities, PDS public distribution system. Body mass index, body mass index means BMI, that is known by the weight in kg and divided by the height in meters whole square. This is the formula of the BMI. You can know the BMI by this formula. Now some definitions: what is the IMR, what is the literacy rate, what is the net attendance ratio, what is the PDS. So IMR means infant mortality rate. That is also important for the development of a country. Number of the children that die before the age of 1 year in a proportion of 1000 live children born in that particular year, means number of the children of age of 1 year that die before their first birthday, that is called the infant mortality rate. Literacy rate, a proportion of the population of an area at a particular time aged 7 years or above who can read and write with understanding. Means literacy rate means proportion of a population of the especially age of the 7 uh, children that can read and write very well and understand. Net attendance ratio, the total number of the children of the age 6 to 10 enrolled in or attending primary school as percentage of the total number of the primary school age, means those students who are, those child who are of age 6 to 10 are enrolling in the schools, primary school, and if they are going to school, this is called the net attendance ratio. PDS, a food security system established by the government of India to provide essential items at subsidized rate, that is rice, sugar, wheat, kerosene, etc. So students, I think you have understood very well all the topics of the development. In our next topic, I'll tell you about the sustainability of the development. Hello everyone, this is part 3 of the economics chapter first, that is the development for the class 10th students. In our last two part, I have told you the meaning of development, development promises, income and the other goals, comparison of countries or states on basis of their development, income and the other criteria, public facilities, PDS system, etc. Student, in this part I am going to tell you the human development report and the sustainability of the development. Means in this part I will tell you the meaning of the human development report and what is the need and the importance of the human development report, and the sustainability of the development meaning plus the importance of the sustainability of the development. So students, human development report is the best method to measure the development. Human Development Report published by UNDP, the full form of the UNDP is United Nations Development Program, is one of the best methods to measure development. Means this is the best method to measure the development of a nation, of a country. The report compares countries on basis of three criteria. What are that three criteria? Living standard, health status, and educational levels of the people. Living standard is known by the per capita income. Per capita income, I have told you in the last part, the definition of per capita income means the income, total income of a country, if it is divided by the total population of that country, that is the per capita income. Health status means life expectancy, IMR, etc. And education levels of the people means literacy rate and enrollment ratio. The report publishes with the separate criteria for the developed countries and separate criteria for the underdeveloped countries. Here we have a question in our mind that what is the rank of our country in this HDR. So students, see, the India occupies 135th rank in HDR 2014 in comparison of 126th rank in 2004 report. Means in 2004 our country stood at the 126th rank, and in 2014 our country occupied 135th rank in HDR Human Development Report. Among South Asian countries, Sri Lanka is ahead of India in ranking. And if we talk about the South Asian countries, Sri Lanka is leading, then the India in ranking. The Human Development Index, HDI, the full form of HDI is the Human Development Index, considers public health, education, poverty level, inequality and environmental aspects to measure human development. Our next topic is the sustainability of the development. Economic development in the developed countries and developing countries has been attained at the cost of the natural resource and environment. As we all know, all kinds of the developments have been attained on the cost of the natural resource and development, natural resources and environment. Development takes place through exploitation of renewable and non-renewable resources. If we do the recklessly development, speedily development without caring of the natural resources, this is called the exploitation of the renewable and non-renewable resources. Means this is not the sustainable development. For example, excessive mining of iron, gold, silver or coal and extraction of the crude oil lead to the depletion of the stock of these resources. If we do the excessive mining work and the extraction of the crude oil, this lead to the depletion, this lead to the exhaustion of the stock of these resources. Means after some times these resources will disappear, and this all the resources will soon exhaust. Smoke and other poisonous gases being released from factories lead to the environmental pollution, as well as the exhaustion and as well as the depletion of the natural resources. Also the environmental pollution is the other negative point of the development. Means smoke and the other poisonous gases also released by the factories that lead to the environmental pollution. Problems of the water and air pollution are affecting the lives of the people, as we all know, and will affect lives of the future generation also. The fear of exhausting the non-renewable resources and degradation of the environmental warns that the current pattern of development is not sustainable. So these all kind of the warnings, these all kind of the methods of the development are faulty, that are not good for our environment, that are not good for our future generation. Means that are not the methods of the sustainable development. So we need the sustainable development. So we need the pattern of the development on the sustainable criteria. So the fear of exhausting the non-renewable resources and degradation of the environment warns that the current pattern of the development is not sustainable. So we need the sustainable development. Environmental degradation and sustainable development. Our mismanagement of the natural resources will result into the environmental degradation that is not confined to the national or the state boundary. Means if we degrade our environment, if we pollute our environment, it will not limited to our country or our country's boundary. It will cross the boundaries of the other countries, and it will also pollute the other countries as well as our country. Now the focus is on the sustainable development, which permits us to use the resources carefully. So we have to adopt these methods of the sustainable development that permits us to use the resources very carefully and also useful for the future generation. Sustainable development is a new term that is associated with a balanced use of natural resources. Means we have to use the natural resources in balancing way. It not only emphasize on the balanced economic development, but also on long term benefit by using resources at minimum level so that future generation can use it. Thus it is rightly said that we have not inherited the world from our forefather, we have borrowed it from our children. So students, here we have an example. The example given below show how the resources are exploited. Example first, groundwater in India. Recent evidences suggests that the groundwater is under serious threat of overuse in many parts of our country. About 300 districts have reported a water level decline of 4 meters during the past 20 years. Nearly one third of the country is overusing their groundwater reserves. In another 25 years, 60% of the country would be doing the same. Groundwater overuse is particularly found in Punjab and western Uttar Pradesh, hard rock plateau areas of the Central and South Asia, South India, some coastal areas, and the rapidly growing urban settlements. And the other example, exhaustion of the natural resources. Look at the following data for crude oil reserves, region and country. Reserves 2013 1000 million barrels, and number of years reserves will last. So on the basis of the crude oil reserve, we can see with the help of this table that in the Middle East region reserves are the 808.5, and it will last 78.1 years of the reserve. And United States of America reserves are for 4.2 thousand million barrels, and it will last after 12.1 years. And the world 1687.9 thousand million barrels reserves are found, but it will last after 53.3. So the table shows that crude oil reserves would last only 53 years more. This is for the world as a whole. However, different countries face different situations. Countries like India depend on importing oil from the abroad because they do not have enough stocks of their own. If prices of oil increases, this becomes a burden for everyone. There are countries like USA which have low reserves and hence want to secure oil through military or economic power. So students, I think you have understood the importance of the sustainable development by the both examples, the example of groundwater in India and the crude oil reserves. So students, here you have some questions, so you have to give the answer of that question. Which position was occupied by India in terms of HDI in development report, HDI Human Development Report in 2014, and which index is used to compare nutritional level? Which concept is also called adjusted per capita income? Why is it adjusted? And what aims for maintaining the natural resources for the present as well as the future for consistent economic development? So students, here we completed the chapter economics, first chapter, that is the development, and I'll also share the PDF related the question answer of this particular chapter, but you have to form the maximum question the all parts of this chapter at on your own basis. And if you have any query or any doubt, you can ask in the comments box. Thank you.